Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name's David and this is a Magic Review. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here. Are you ready? Are you ready? All this week, we're doing tons of uploads every single day. Most of the time, you're gonna see 3 videos a day. That's right, 3 reviews a day all this week. And going into next week too, we're doing a ton of reviews. So strap in kids. Today, we're starting the week off, right? Sunday, starting the week off with something super special. I'm so excited that I get to start the week off with this because, I don't know, just been waiting for this. Been waiting to review this. This is the Infinity deck from Craig Petty and Lloyd Barnes. Now, if you've seen some of the past Craig Petty releases, right? Recently, he's been doing these really fun decks of cards, really cool tuck cases, really cool mentalism effects. And Craig's been teaming up with his buddy, Phil Smith. Now, Phil Smith did all the artwork on this. So if you've had any of the past decks that Craig's been doing recently, right? You know the quality, you know how awesome these have been. Phil Smith's back to give you another deck. And best of all, you're getting something that you've been waiting for forever. Craig Petty and Lloyd Barnes teamed up for the very first time, right? We've been waiting for this. We've been waiting for this. The two guys, they're best friends. They're probably best man at each other's weddings. No, they weren't. But yeah, we know they're mates. And so it's so good to see both of them together side by side, right? No split screen, together in the same studio, giving you this really cool project. So what is the project? What is the Infinity deck? The Infinity deck is a photo deck. Okay, it is a photo deck similar, I would say similar, adjacent to, akin to, perhaps the Snaps deck that we saw from David Jonathan. There was also kind of like a photo deck from Patrick Redford. There was also that Alphabet deck that came out recently. So it's similar to that, right? You're gonna have a generic back design that looks like this came from some sort of nature store or science store or activity center, right? And then the front are gonna be photographs. And you're gonna use those photographs for any card at any number routines, ESP matching routines, just prediction effects, all kinds of creative tricks. In fact, it's even built around a very familiar gaff deck that is a classic of Magic that many of you probably have in a drawer somewhere, and at least you know the method. What Craig and Lloyd have done is they've cleverly disguised that classic deck. So now it's completely hidden. You're gonna be doing playing card tricks without playing cards, and almost all without sleight of hand. You wanna see the deck? First off, everything comes in this beautiful drawer slide box. It says Craig Petty, Lloyd Barnes, Infinity deck, Murphy's Magic Studio. Beautifully, creatively designed, and you get everything inside of that attractive drawer. Here's your tuck case, beautifully hidden with the words creative mindset. You could Google that, you're not gonna find anything. 52 creative imagery cards. It sounds better than photo deck, right? 2021 winner, so it sounds like it's been around for a while. Best inspiration tool, a collection of exciting images chosen by psychologists to inspire out-of-the-box thinking. There you go, creative mindset, all beautiful. Got some predictions in here, got a crib in here, which is awesome. And everything's printed from the United States Playing Card Company. And I could add right here, is it what I thought? And I think I would say yes and no. Yes and no, it's what I thought. I mean, at first glance, you might be thinking, oh, this is just a takeoff or a spin-off on the Snaps deck, but it's not. It's more than that. You might be thinking, yes, it's the Snaps deck, and in some ways it is, but in so many different ways it isn't. The first of which is these things are marked for deck order. Okay, marked for deck order, which means if you get these cards out of order, if they get shuffled, right now they're in a stack, but if they get shuffled together, you could simply look at the backs, read the markings, and the numerics would put it right back in order. The other thing is they're marked from the back when you cut. So if you cut, The marking on the back is going to tell you the card that you're looking at, the card above, and the card below. So you'll always be able to look at the cards and know exactly where you are and exactly what card you're looking at. And going through the card faces, I think you're going to see a lot of potential. Like, this is a needle and thread. It could also be a P. You could also use this to say that it's an I, right? There's a B, so you have letters, I, B, P, right? You have a flower, leaves, a dog, I, but it's also can, right? I can. And then there's a crowd. This is new, in, so you have some words in here, okay? So flu, person with a flu, a rooster, a light bulb. You could use this for an idea, right? Tree, a very popular image that if you ask a spectator to draw something, they might draw a tree. This is a whole pile of gummy bears and gummy worms. This is an 8, right? And this is a 7, see the numbers? And then this is an 11. You could use this for suits. So you have a spade, you have a heart, you have a club, you have a queen, you have an ace, you have a jack, you have a king, you have diamonds. Here's another number, 825. You also have the color red. There's a flower. Here's another number, 35, 21, 15, chip. Here's food, wheels, a person walking through a forest. There's a barn and a flower. There's a whole bunch of fun, creative cards that just look random from the faces, but secretly tell you a wealth of information. All right, so how about the videos? How are the videos? What can you expect? In typical Craig Petty fashion, you're gonna get a ton of teaching. So there's 7 files, right? 7 files that you'll need to download. They're all roughly an hour long-ish. Some are a little less, right? 6 hours long in total. So 6 hours of tutorials and 20 magic tricks. 20 magic tricks. And you're gonna have Craig and Lloyd, for the most part, seated at a table with a stationary camera. Pretty much the camera doesn't move around, doesn't shoot different angles. It's pretty much that one straight on shot, but that's really all you need. There's no messy background music, and they got a little library wall behind them. I'll talk to you about some of the other videos, but that's it for the most part. As far as what they're gonna teach you, there's an intro. They talk about the deck, and they'll go over all the markings. And then they'll talk about false shuffles and false cuts because, like I said, this is a deck stack for the most part. Now, you can get it out of stack, but you're going to leave it in stack for several tricks. The main routine is 3 phases, and it uses a deck of playing cards, the infinity deck, and a prediction. It's going to start with a straightforward mental card reveal. They select a card, you name it. Then the second phase is your written prediction is going to match 4 cards that your spectator randomly deals to. The third phase is the spectator is going to shuffle up the remaining cards and create a playing card and a number. And then it becomes an ACAN, and that is your finale that you'll do with the standard deck of cards. They'll then teach you a streamlined version of this if you wanted less props and wanted to do it as walk around. They'll talk to you about the 8-ball prediction that I showed you, where an actual 8-ball from a billiard set will drop out of the box. You could probably use Obliterate by Wayne Fox. It's a gimmick that you could use for that. Then there's a lock screen prediction where the photograph on your phone matches the card they pick. The next video is going to go back to Craig's home studio that you've seen in his YouTube channel. He's going to cover tricks like Will the Photo Match, which is a variation of Will the Jacks Match. He's going to do G's light up light bulb routine, where you draw a picture of a light bulb and the picture glows. The next card trick is called Empowerment. The spectator is going to select 5 random cards, and they're going to focus on one of those cards as their chosen card. They're going to shuffle them up, give them to you, and you will know which card was the one they focused on. They'll teach you an ESP match. They'll teach you a trick where the face-up cards from a Triumph shuffle match a prediction that's on the tuck case. Then there's a really long jam session. Next, I think this is such a great idea because anybody that might, get their pants in a bunch and say, oh, well, they've just stolen David Jonathan's snaps deck. This is such a great feature because Craig Petty is going to join with David Jonathan in a Zoom call. And you're going to see that there is no love lost, that David Jonathan is going to share his own ideas. They're going to compare this against the snaps deck and show you what's different. David Jonathan is going to teach you any card at any number. He's going to teach you a coincidence trick. They're going to talk about psychological forces. Of course, they'll talk about ESP tricks, simple card reveals, and they'll teach you a few card routines. And then you're going to go back to Craig's studio for a bonus section where he just recaps a few of the tricks that were taught earlier in the tutorial. Pocket space, for the most part, it's just the deck, right? There was a couple moments where I said, well, there's an 8-ball, or there's a deck of cards, or a prediction written down, but those are the rare ones. Most of the tricks that they're going to teach you are just done with the deck. That's the only thing you'll need to carry. But they're also going to cover a whole host of reveals, like showing you literally what each card could be. What was their mindset when they created this card? Why did they create a queen card and a king card and a jack card? Why did they give you numbers? Why did they give you suits? Why did they give you certain animals and certain numbers? They're going to cover all of that should you wish to build your own tricks. You're going to have enough ideas where not only you could use 1 or 2 or 3 of the tricks that they teach you, but you'll have the power now to create your own tricks. You'll know what Craig and Lloyd know. And when you have that knowledge, again, you'll be able to build your own tricks right away. Angles-wise and inspectability-wise, I don't think you have anything to worry about. If you've ever seen Phil Smith's marked decks, you know Phil Smith hides his markings really well. The other thing is they wouldn't even know what to look for, right? I mean, if you saw the bee insect card, what mark are you looking for? Are you looking for the word bee, B-E-E? Are you looking for, just the first letter, B? Just the letter B, and would that tell you what it was? Are you looking for the word insect or a letter I? Like, they are not even going to know what to look for. So the chances of them finding the marks, they won't even assume they're marked, because the tricks don't look like marked deck tricks. It's only a bonus feature that they're marked. You could do several of these tricks without the markings at all. They're just marked for convenience. They're just marked to give you one extra layer of confidence. Okay, and really, if you were into mem deck tricks, you could memorize this, because if you leave it in stack, you'll always know what the stack is. And it really isn't as hard as you might think. It's actually easier to learn this deck as a mem deck than it is a standard 52 deck. So it's possible. Slice and difficulty level, like I said, it's pretty much all beginner level moves. A lot of the forces are just crisscross forces or the riffle down force. There's barely any sleights. Most of this is all mentalism, and it just requires you to know the trick, know the routine, and any beginner will be able to pick this up and start doing tricks with this right away. Setup and reset. Several of the tricks require the deck to be in stack or some pre-arranged way. Okay, so this would keep you from doing multiple tricks back to back, because you're either going to shuffle the deck up at the end or have to reset it in some manner. So you're probably only going to do 1 or 2 tricks with this at most before you start doing something else, right? Positives, this is such a fun deck and it's such a fun trick. It's a beautiful project. If you liked some of the other photo decks that have come out in the past, I think you're going to love this. I think if you like either Craig Petty or Lloyd Barnes, you're going to love this. I love the fact that the tutorial is, 7 files, but they're going to mark the file so that you know exactly where you are. So if you wanted to go back to video 4 and you're like, oh, what was that trick again? You could look down at the markings of the video and find the file and find the moment in the video that you want to watch right away. So all the video files are marked for time, and all the time codes are at the front as well as throughout the video. So navigation-wise, it's beautiful. The deck is bicycle printed, so quality there. Phil Smith did an amazing job on the back design, the photographs, the marking system, the tuck case. You're getting tons of teaching. Can't say enough great things about this deck. I think mentalists are going to love it, especially mentalists that try to stay away from the traditional playing card route, right? There are those mentalists who try to stay away from playing cards. The only negative that I really have for this entire project, and it's just a minute negative, it's just a small one, and that is I love Lloyd Barnes, and I would have liked to have seen more of Lloyd. So I realized it was their project, and it started off really as Craig Petty's idea. That is true. But for the most part, Craig Petty does all the teaching and the majority of the talking. So it would have been nice to see more of a balance between Lloyd Barnes and Craig. But that's pretty much it. But how much is it? It's only $35. $35 for a completely custom marked deck that gives you 20 routines, Craig Petty, Lloyd Barnes teaching, designed by Phil Smith. If you haven't picked up a deck similar right? If you don't have a photography deck or a photo deck, this might be the one you want to pick up. It's going to be the hot ticket this year, or at least this summer, right? I think this summer, this is what a lot of people are going to be talking about. So huge, huge, huge thanks to Craig Petty, Lloyd Barnes, Murphy's Magic Supplies for allowing me to have this so I could do the review for you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.